Okay. First a confession. W is tungsten. I don't know where Wolframite has come from. I want to blame a streamer I was watching for this game. I don't think it's them, but I want to Google it to work out where it is, but I'll probably do that whilst I'm waiting for this to finish rendering, but yeah, tungsten. Tungsten. Anyway, let's make some mistakes, shall we? So in the last two rather long videos, we were focusing on getting the basics out of the way and getting a rough idea of what we're doing. This time, let's try actually doing something properly. So first and foremost, we're going to spend some money to get them nice and happy. Happier crew means they function better. So before... oh, you can inhale, oof. Yeah, I guess. So, happier crew means we're going to be scanning rocks quicker, we're going to be getting more time slowed down, more accurate course predictions, and all that lot. Happier crew works harder. And also, it's a good idea to have a nice break in things every now and again. So, today, if I zoom in a little, space is black. When you see areas of white like this, that is a higher concentration of rock. We're going to try and aim for this point. There's no point in me going here because the environmental damages see, because they basically burn an entry point for us, which is... I can steer, it's fine. So we're going to go up the top of here. And I'll try and manually aim for it. So remember, as we're diving in, we are going to take the drift off. And that means we're definitely going to spot in that area. So I can dive here on the edge. Note, however, we also, if we aim for the gap, we'll also pay less in our laser path burn fee. But we are still going to be spending more money for the... I think they're trying to clear the area at the moment. Because remember, despite the fact this is black, there are still rocks there. Maybe not be enough, but that's... Anyway, so we're going to be aiming right here. And one last check to make sure I'm actually bringing my last... I still can't believe I dropped without having a nice piece of equipment. I don't really have enough money to meme anything. I need a better core for that. Yeah, it's either we're on core or cargo base. So we are going. Let's have a look at the dealership. We're not going to be able to get anything here. No. Oh, that's the extended one. For trading, can I afford it? Yes, but then I have to fix it and refit it. What's it got on? Micrometer. That's tempting. Also, Canamedian Jägerstrugel. Jägerstrugel? Jägerstrugel, there you go. Norse. Some good names here, some good names. Traitor's Digger, oh, that's a good one. Ancient Charlie, yeah, he's not that old. Unhatched word, oof. Jumping orbit. Jumping orbital ringer's orbit. Slang terms or something, I guess? Anyway. So check our heading, yep, and let's get rocking. You get the guitar, I'll get the beer. Wait, no. Visit Earth? Why? That's a horrible idea. Why on earth would I want to go to Earth for? Why on earth would you go to Earth? It's probably why I'm out here, because I'm not funny. Overheating? Oh, you're screwed, aren't you? So let's look at the visual video. So, how badly did we miss, or did I screw it up? Oh, we're getting some misalignment. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? No, we're fine. So we'll turn everything off. Big old boosties. I was watching a developer video where they were trying to use text-to-speech to cover up the voices. Hey, we've all been there. and it was going to like 150, 200 through the rings, and I'm like, I'm not that skilled. So we'll go for 100. MRS. Fiber level. Any good check? Right, so this is what I was looking for. Essentially, with these options here, it's a crew interaction, and that can lead on to many things. It could just be a little snappy conversation about what's been going on recently, or how's the fam, or this lot. Or they could point out local areas of interest, or maybe they found something, a radar glitch somewhere, LiDAR reading, that kind of thing. Let's see what Chang's up to here. Durand, that's okay. Oh, girl, sorry. And we have to now close this one because it's a conversation in progress, so I'll just turn and prep to break. Come sail away, come sail away. Still owe me my last salary. I pay you. Yeah, it's fine, I'll pay you. Eventually. Probably, maybe. Be sure I paid you in full. Okay, so nothing plot related there. That could be an excuse to go down and murder him. You see on the feed, I can actually see his engine burning. Because that's not me, that's him. Bearing in mind, this is time lagged. Because the drone is goodness knows where. But it's far enough away so that it actually takes time for our... That's the cursor there. It actually takes time for thruster readings to get through to it, which is, I'd say, if you're watching thruster burn, hands on the wheel, I think we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. Not fine now though. Course correct on that. Bonk! What did that hit? It's RCS. RCS even. RCS. I'd like to subscribe to the RCS feed of that asteroid, please. Thank you. Eep. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, people were saying like, oh well, I was aiming for engine flashes, looking for stations and all this lot. Well, first and foremost, stations don't tend to use RCS, and bearing in mind, if you look at the tuning screen before you drop, that's how long it takes for your ship to actually get to the... Get it away. Let's burn it. Yep. Oi! Mile bonk! Some platinum there. Oh. Not what we're here for. Def. So we're doing some slightly heavier chop, and in fact... Let's hold it down there. Should we do this properly? Let's slow down, turn, and burn. I'd like to call it brakes! A little bit of backward thrust there. So that's down. Big ol'. It's not quite as hot as it could be, but I really don't want to be spending so much time. I will probably get to a point where I'll only show like highlights of a run, or start off in the weeds and actually like show you. There's nothing here. Let's crunch you. So we got at least got something. Let's go Ash Driver, Manipulator. Bird is having a little issue. I did come in sideways though. Autopilot tends to use more propellant. So if you are comfortable, he says it's using a full burning. If you are comfortable manually controlling the ship, you probably use less propellant that way. Switch over to the laser now. Bear in mind, the laser is a... Oh. Not. So what happened there, sorry. Maybe that came up in the recording. We shall continue. Grabbing this. I know I'm trying to get a more higher number of chunkies, but If it does turn out to be a clean wash, something is better than nothing. Put that in the buffle. The baffles are baffling me. Oh, another bed, but it's tiny though. Needs a... no. Yeah, no. To back up. So the mining laser has an effective range of 8,000 meters. So you'll be doing this, and you'll probably see. Oh my god! Good job I didn't. Oh, I don't care. The ship knows what it did. It's fine. That's why you go to the bigger areas. Some people call it the gravimetrics, and that's precisely why. Nom. Victory spoon! Hey, sometimes it's better just to put more thrust into a big tungston there. Tungston. Oh. So mining laser 8,000 meters. So you'll be constantly burning something, and then something will just float up to the top. Like, what is that? I don't want to chase that. Bonk! There's a lot of beryllium right here. I am not complaining. That's a mill there as well. Don't know what's going to tell. Well, just a casual 4 grand floating there as well. A recent update has changed it, so if you wanted to never see iron again, you can do that. I like to know what things are there. Big old punks, I want to get back to that rock. Okay, let's throw into this. So, for some strange reason, we've not that out of alignment. So as I move this to the right, watch the other two. So, it's getting less thrust, it's wearing out more, but, as I say, we're going to be trying to straighten things up a bit. So, like I said, we're back to somewhat straighter burn, but we're going to be wearing them out longer, and we may be getting less overall thrust from it. Obviously, try not to break your ship, it's kind of important. But at the same time, accidents do and tend to happen. Particularly when you're chasing beryllium going at like 250 bajillion miles an hour. Yeah, that's a good platinum jump. Yeah, that's worth it. Another thing to point out with all this talk about ore processing. Bearing in mind, full chunks will always be worth more good by Wolframite. Tungston. See what I mean? These chunks will actually earn us more money overall, because processing the ore, we lose. We don't get 100% of it. Depending on the processor you use, the cheapest one, it nets you 40% ore refined, and 40% water turned into remass or propellant fuel, or just fuel if you want to be less fancy. The next one up is 70-20, I believe. And then you get a 90, which doesn't give you propellant back. And then there's a different one that doesn't give you remass, but allows you to refuel. Oh, hello. I've just noticed we've gone blue. Don't see anything on radar. Let's check the old transponder. Oh! Oh, just sorry. Good reading. Oh, what happened again, I mean? Yeah, I've been shot at by people like you. And I've seen bounties. Oh, why don't you just pay him off? This is highlighted, and I'm not sure why. My philosophy when it comes to people shooting at me in this game, or coming at me, is you threaten me once, and if my crew don't know you, you're going to have holes in your ship. I don't try and outright blow ships up, because the salvage is more, but, the bears aren't unjustified. I am slightly more prepared to fight, though, because I haven't got a honking great tracking beacon on the side of my ship. You know what? I'm going to press this button. If they find us, they find us. If they don't, they don't. But before we do, I want to talk... Actually, no, this is disgusting. Rude. Holy brilliant, Batman. He says grab it to Tungston. So where are they? I will admit I do find it hard to read ships on my transponder on the LiDAR when they don't have their transponder on. I've lost ships like that before, and I've been surprised a few too many times. I think they would have just let me. So I will admit I'm probably not the best person for me. I could use the visual feed, but again I do struggle to see engine flares on this. Generally that's a problem with me more than the game, so I doubt the developer will actually watch this, but they're pretty cool. But yeah. Won't be the first time the screen's gone blue and I've not found why. Which is perfectly fine. It's player error now, player mode. What can I say? We can all be both. Ah, my. Talk crap! Talk yourself down, get paid, it seems. But anyway, they're not directly hostile, so I don't think we're going to get into a shootout. Am I still holding it? Rock dude. I'm getting far better, but money is still money. But yeah, I'll say it now rather than if we get into combat. I'll probably repeat myself when I get to combat anyway. Let me just finish rocking on. Come here! Burn! Tasty! 40! Yeah, there you go, 95k! That's how you do it! But yeah, essentially zoom in a little. Full stop. In a firefight, you'll want to be going for one thing and one thing only. This big old glowing spot here. This, as if you didn't know, is a reactor. And it doesn't like having a mass round put through it. Mass round put anywhere near it. So in combat, you want to try and get behind them and blast it off. 2 to 5 good shots will do the trick normally. They meant 1 or 2 will see him to get further away. Which... I'm sorry, what? Is that someone's phone number? I'm off, we're doing this on manually. Collision warning! Yeah, no shit. But yeah, in a firefight, you want to try and knock it. I swear. It's not the most expensive mistake I've ever made that's got me profit, but I swear I get better rocks when I accidentally derp into them than when I'm actually looking for them. Yeah. So 2 or 3 good reaction shots will definitely slow him down. 4 or 5 should do the trick. What also you can do is if you've got microwaves, as I've explained previously, a good microwaving will always shut down. So I only use the battle's got that. Doesn't matter. 1,480k yesterday. That is, as they say, noise. Anyway, in fact, let's head back. But yeah, before it, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Stop, please. There is probably something here. It's always so obvious. It's not a escape pod. I haven't seen it. I'd heard if it was a escape pod. And there's no. I don't think there's anything on. I mean, they're still here somewhere, but I can't actually see them on radar. Again, I do struggle to see ships with their transponder off on the lidar. That is again something. But anyway, what you can do with the microwave is you can hit them constantly with it to cause them to overheat and shut down and then eventually melt down. Alternatively, if you zoom back in, you can knock out their RCS units and have them go completely dead stick. Which, as I said, then means you're in for a big old chase down once they go spinning off into the black ether. But if you can catch them and you can slow them down, you can get their ship. So, as I say, a live pod, particularly if it's a pirate live pod, will get you about 50,000, 75,000. Even the most beaten up hunk of metal and twisted dreams you drag in with the manipulator arm, if you manage to get their ship, is several 100,000. So that's why we do salvage runs, and that's why I have the art. My screen is still blue. Anyway, here we go. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. So now we have money, let's immediately go to our repairs. Okay, so now that we have some slight issues, I can pay 500, I think this is euro dollars, I want to say. Bear in mind, this is going to matter for insurance first, so I can pay 500 euro dollars, or whatever they are, for 4 hours each click. He can only do our mechanic, I think it's a he. I'm not sure. They're fictional characters, it's fine. Don't mention that to people. So we can let him have a go. Alternatively, it may say, because that, for 4, is going to be 2,000. It might be cheaper, especially if it's beyond repair, we have no choice, to replace it. But keep that in mind, we are on a limited budget. So let's see how well he can give it. That's perfectly fine. That's fine. 2 there. 3 there. And we're okay. There will be a point, if we get, I think it's under 50%, that they won't actually let us leave the station because we're too damaged. Which makes sense, but at the same time, trust me, please. Now, if I remember right, this is 3 grand. Yeah. It's not going to reactor core. We're going to step it up to the 8 fuel rods. Let's have a check of our mining lasers now. So I can step up to the pulse laser now if I wanted to. So, mining laser. Pressive heat to a target, usable focus 8,000 meters. Pulse lasers are a lot more. As I said, it's a lot more. We'll burn it through a lot more because a laser is basically just us pointing a focus of light on something and heating it up over time. A pulse laser is a lot more energy being put into it. I'm probably getting the science wrong. Again, I'm not a scientist. It's a hobby. But this does it a lot faster. And it's also gimbaled. Because, if I go back to my autopilot, this gives us firing solutions, if I'm wrong. This is what will control our gimbaling. Or we'll certainly be able to know what it's aiming at, so our gimbaling is more effective. I like using this over, say, some of the others, generally because I find it harder to aim, especially with on the side ones. I find it harder to aim, which is my fault. But, as I say, I get into fights, and I like winning fights. The less rounds I miss, the less rounds I miss, the quicker the fight will end. So, or the faster they get to go. So, thrusters, we need a better engine, ultra capacitor. We're going to step that up because I just bought a new laser. So, if we do end up outpacing our output for a turbine, we've got a bigger capacitor there to sort out. We do have the twin turbine, which is fine. We should be okay, really. So let's have another go. We do not need to buy. I think I fired once. I don't think I fired at all, actually. We'll need more propellant. Let's go down a bit further this time. We can get verified for $3? Nice! Still not buying it though. Just saw that, god damn it. God damn it. Hey, does that mean if we get verified, does that mean we get better rocks? No, we'll just have slightly less shittier rocks appearing. Take it from a forum troll from the 90s. Don't troll on Twitter, especially not the Steam forums either. Oh boy, that's why we turned the owl off. Not to put a finer point on it, but a lot of people turn around and say social media with that. Good interruption! Anyway. There are some moments where using the ferry back in this game just writes the jokes myself. We just got... Lynn? Tony Paul misses you. Misses. Hey! Free love. Trans rights and human rights, so on and so forth. Do I have contact with Gavin? Who is this? Okay, and here we go, Jay. Right, so trade opportunities out here. Sweet. So we got an option to jump to something. We've got 50 days, and that's pretty far away. So now you know what? Slow down. I took a passive roll. Slow it down. Let's go do that. It might be something interesting. It might not. Let's go find out. It does mean we're kind of going a bit off target, and the area is not that bad. I could always go... There is probably a posher way of saying this, but we could also just move further up after seeing whatever this is. So this is what I meant before when I said if you're trying to get somewhere in the rings from a point of interest, it extends a count out. Why is that pausing? I don't know why that's doing that. It's not me doing that. Could be something going on in the background. I do apologise. Ah! Sweet. No. We'll see it first. Whenever you transition into a new area like that, it always tries to brake. But it brakes forward facing. So here we are. SRA 4. Ombertu. That. It's a habitat. So, processed iron for... This is a heretic and they shall burn it. I'm joking. Fogies reinforcing. So, habitats... As I've said previously, habitats tend to, as with most points of interest, they tend to float around. So, as I say, they're also being drawn in, they tend to move around and all this lot. So, our astrogator will only keep a track of it depending on their skill. So, for the next 50 days, we know roughly where this thing is. We can update that by revisiting it. So if you wanted to keep a track of where all these places are, you can have a big old dive and you can keep around with them. And it's worth pointing out, they want iron. They will always want iron. Now, I can't do anything with this one particularly because they don't take unprocessed nuggets, they take full on. Let's warm the old new laser a second. Yes, I do. We'll light them, it's fine. So yeah, it's they will take processed iron. They won't take nuggets directly out of our cargo hold, but they will pump out processed ore. And the hello. Friend. Speaking of heretics, where are you? Did I piss the station off? May have pissed the station off. They have microwave point defenses, so it's probably not a good idea. Okay, it's fine. I'm not sure if I pissed them off or if the guy I just managed to... but maybe they're just around somewhere. That brilliant trick is not worth it. I got excited. But yeah, basically... what was I saying? They will always take processed ore off you. I like to think it's more than the station would pay for it. I don't know. Please speak. As I say, I don't tend to keep track of the numbers for how much they're selling for. I just keep track of how much we can make from them here. The amount, so it's all estimates. It will change depending on the market's going right at the time. So keep an eye on it. It's, as I say, the only thing we're losing out on is a ringed contact there. It's probably because it's a new contact because I split the rock, maybe? Tests. Chunk's too small. Could be. Again, I'm not too hot on what the light... various things. The only thing I will say is the gravimetrics do help point out heavier gravity objects, but that could be anything from heavy ore in rocks or moonlets. So yeah, just because there's just because there's denser gravity in that area, doesn't precisely mean that there's going to be better rocks there. Like I say, I just play this game to have fun and try and turn a profit. I'm not hot on the science and the technology on it. But then again, you know, if you are, that is something you can look up, of course. Kerbal Space Program is another game that's great about teaching the basics of space flight, like apoapsis and retrograde, prograde burning, and all sorts of weird and wonderful things you can do with rockets, aside from blowing them up. But blowing them up is important too, you know? Besides, that's where the fun is. Now we are in the weeds here. It's time for you to die. So this mining laser cuts through rocks like butter. It does do damage, I believe it does damage to ships. Not turn the arm off there. Please do not be. Look at me pretending to show off and actually doing nothing with it. Yeah. Get in. Weirder things also you can tune is you can change this. I think it probably turns the power draw down or something like that, but you can sort of change it so your sensors for your cargo hold are a little less accurate, which they're not accurate to me. Why am I even bothered to pick that up? So we've got a big old patch of hard boys here. Pause. Says mining laser, very good. See that beryllium there? That was from a rock behind the one I'm melting. So it's always best to keep your eyes open. This one's more. Oh, back on. It's got a nice chunk there. Again, if I had an ore processor, I'd definitely chase that down because it doesn't matter how big the rock is, it's all going to end up in the same box anyway. So, it doesn't matter if it's high quality. Yeah, all space. There we go. There we go. So it doesn't matter if I'm picking up like this, like almost 3,000 kilogram bucket of change here, or if I'm picking up a tiny piddly 500 rock or lower. Once we melt it down, we're going to lose some of it, of course, due to the processing and how that works. But we sell by weight, not nugget, if we're processing. Which we're not currently. Here we go. Let's do a little bit. Just drive it here. So he boosts us into the rock. That's fine. Never claimed to be a professional. Palladium there. That's not worth picking up. Iron, of course, to taunt me. There's more beryllium there. It's blue. It's shiny. And it's 5 figures. I want it. Pilot's having a bit of a nightmare on the old actually puts like, we're gonna hit that rock! No, the RSS is gonna cook it before it hits the ship. Bonk! Damn it! I'm also going to grab the rock. White is man-made on the transponder. Because that one's flashing now and I don't know why. It's a bit big moving. Not sure. Oh! Oh! That's white. Okay. Big rock just hit something. Remember when I said things are in constant motion in the rings? Here's your proof. Something big just got wrecked. Just outside of visual range. And that was the devastation after it. I once had this game actually try and hit me with a ringroid that was bigger than my ship. Managed to get out of the way of it just in time, but it was going some. Always worth handy to keep an eye on your radar. You might not be able to read it like me, because I'm an idiot. But as I say, it does give you some hints. If you see a big old blue box moving towards you, maybe consider moving. Rapidly. Blue means it's coming towards you, red means it's going away. What am I holding? That's fine. Got another little holder. It's some good palladium in it. Don't want that. Oh, it's a good job we're not around Uranus. Uranus. You know what I mean, they have rings too. Did I just see 7 grand up there? Arm is off. Why is the arm off? Yes, I know I'm crashing into that one down there, dear. It's fine. Ooh. Doing good. find out when my geologist eventually stops taking a coffee break. No. Propellant's renewable resource, right? Right, so did I see 7 grand? I did. Good job I didn't yeet that one. All will be yeeted. So many rocks, so many angles, so little time. 18 kilograms of tungsten. Dear diary, today I saw something useless. Come on! It was me in the mirror. Self-deprivation. For fun and profit. That's most streamers, isn't it? Streamers. Doth my eyes deceiveth me? Cloning! Didn't I just pick you up? Let's just get this little under control. Get a burn slightly more propellant by relying on the autopilot, but then I'm less likely to actually hit something. Or more likely to derp. Derping is always a possibility. Never underestimate the power of derp. Anyway. So. Not a thing. Funnily enough, you're crashing into this thing! Sorry, Boost is closer to it. Grab these two and head back, I think. I think this is Vandolium or something like that. Vandal. That. Words are hard. But I was a physicist and not a very good one either. You want to know your elements, play chemistry, goddammit. It's shiny, it has a value, and I wasn't going to shoot that rock. That's stopped down a bit. Yeah, I think we're just about there. Hold wise, propellant's a bit low as well. Let's get clear. Wee! Try that again, shall we? There we go. Wee. Manually line that up. We'll head back to the station. Now, of course, when we come back, we can always jump straight to the habitat to sidestep most of the dive. But remember, we will be. So, as I said, we end up taking the normal transfer to the edge of the ring and then manually plot to the habitat. We can skip a fair old bit of travelling backwards. Of course, it depends on where the habitat is. And we can then maybe use a trade beacon until they get to the spot we want to be in. But, you know. Oh. So remember, jumps take time and we're paying people as we're jumping around. We got taking a salary there, so we'll then go into here. And we're just going to press this middle button a few times. So, I know we're rushing through and trying to get more stuff available. But it's always a good idea to keep a little bit on the side. Just in case, as I say, things take a little too long when dealing with it. Because remember, it takes days. Actually, let's see if I can show you this tuning. Yeah, it's Xenon transfer transfer. So yeah, so it's 100%. This is for going into the ring. We can choose to burn most of our propellant to use our main drive to get there faster, but that means we need more propellant to begin with. And sometimes, as I say, we go to ring dive, I can That's taking all of our propellant. I can opt to take none. We won't be able to make it. Let's see how much I need. That's because I'm using the Xenon drive. But if I was to turn it down to stay 0, you can see how much it is there. So I'll need to then pay, if I had no propellant, which I totally don't at the moment, an extra £2,000. And bearing in mind, we'll also be reaching there at half a tank, which, as we don't have any means of getting our propellant back, not very good. So we could also change the frequency, less power per pulse, more heat to target, which I think will do more damage. More power, more gooder. Again, we can always tinker and tailor. So, for instance, definitely with the mass driver, because they low values means we're putting less force onto the rock, which means we likely less yeeting and stuff. Higher, we're punching through it far more harder. There's a lot more force behind the bullet, which means we'll be damaging ships more. So, if, for instance, I tend to use my mass driver very sparingly when it comes to breaking rocks, unless they're pretty big. So out of most of the dives I do, the mass driver tends to get most usage against ships. So what I could do, if I cared, I could heat this up. It's going to be more power per shot, but it also means it's going to be less shots on target because I'm doing more damage. And so on and so forth. All this game comes down to is what do you take with you, what kind of ship you want to fly, and generally speaking, your playstyle will dictate how you go about this game, because you can do pretty much anything you want and you can make money for it. If you just want to shut your brain off, get a big cargo processor, big cargo, a load of hull drones, find a big old clump of rocks, get a load of point defenses and just hold 2 buttons down, you can do that. You want to go dogfighting, trying to find bounties and learn how to use transported sea ships to begin with, you can do that. It's up to you, and there's a lot of play here. Again, all of these, I could go, for instance, I can go and buy this. Oh yeah, get a training buddy. Fire it off, he picks up some stuff and all this lot. Oh, it's not really working out. I go back to the mass driver. Still the same money. You never lose anything buying and selling parts. You lose it in repairs, and buying ships to begin with. So, that's an investment, this is an investment. Equipment may as well be called experimentation. So, if you do decide to get the game, play around with it. And as I said, you can literally go in with the rings with just the ship, no lasers, no mass driver, no arm, and just use your main torch to mine asteroids if you want. I don't recommend it, but you can do it. So, I may have a few less dives, or may start doing little highlights and all this lot in case anything. Take a dive when nothing really happens, but hey, you know. That's this game. Sometimes you can go down and have the most boring shift imaginable, but make a lot of money. Other times it could be fun, thrill, and drama and all this lot, and you go broke. Or both. Or neither. I don't know. I still haven't found the donut shop. That's not a thing. It might not be a thing, I don't know. Things are scary out there. And I don't know why that's doing that, but we'll find out. Hopefully the game hasn't crashed. I think there's a loose wire on my headset, so I'm hoping this works, but if it don't, well, we'll sort something out.